Hope I'm not covering thoughts, Ram. We start. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Aviravirmayidhi. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tam Agocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Let we be protected, let we be nourished, let we strive with energy and vigor. Let our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. I bow to Govinda, whose nature is bliss supreme, who is the Sadguru, who can be known only from the import of all Vedanta, and who is beyond the reach of speech and mind. So we are studying Vivekachudamani. Vivek, as you know, to separate, to distinguish what is truth and what is not truth, what is permanent and what is temporary, what is ephemeral, what is eternal. Because as of now, everything is mixed up. And we are suffering because we cannot separate ordinarily. And we take something ephemeral, something impermanent as permanent or as eternal. So this is the whole problem. And truth is very much here all the time, without absence. So we must cultivate to find out, to distinguish, and to recognize, to be in one's own self. So this is the Vivekachudamani crystal of discrimination. And we are in a place where the disciple has realized his own self. He could separate what he is not. And we'll read from the text as we go ahead. But before that, we read from the complete works of Swami Vivekananda. David?
Suppose there is a ball in this room, and we each... Yes, Swami?
Just a minute. Yes, go ahead.
Suppose there is a ball in this room, and we each have a mallet in our hands and begin to strike the ball, giving it hundreds of blows, driving it from point to point until at last it flies out of the room. With what force and in what direction will it go out? These will be determined by the forces that have been acting upon it all through the room. All the different blows that have been given will have their effects. Each one of our actions, mental and physical, is such a blow. The human mind is a ball which is being hit. We are being hit about this room of the world all the time, and our passage out of it is determined by the force of all these blows. In each case, the speed and direction of the ball is determined by the hits it has received. So all our actions in this world will determine our future birth. Our present birth, therefore, is the result of our past. This is one case. Suppose I give you an endless chain in which there is a black link and a white link alternately, without beginning and without end. And suppose I ask you the nature of the chain. At first, you will find a difficulty in determining its nature, the chain being infinite at both ends. But slowly you find out it is a chain. You soon discover that this infinite chain is a repetition of the two links, black and white, and these multiplied infinitely become a whole chain. If you know the nature of one of these links, you know the nature of the whole chain, because it is a perfect repetition. All our lives, past, present, and future, form, as it were, an infinite chain without beginning and without end, each link of which is one life with two ends, birth and death. What we are and do here is being repeated again and again with but little variation. So if we know these two links, we shall know all the passages we shall have to pass through in this world. We see, therefore, that our passage into this world has been exactly determined by our previous passages. Similarly, we are in this world by our own action. Just as we go out with the sum total of our present actions upon us, so we see that we come into it with the sum total of our past actions upon us. That which takes us out is the very same thing that brings us in. What brings us in? Our past deeds. What takes us out? Our own deeds here, and so on, and on we go. Like the caterpillar that takes the thread from its own mouth and builds its cocoon, and at last finds itself caught inside the cocoon. We have bound ourselves by our own actions. We have thrown the network of our actions around ourselves. We have set the law of causation in motion, and we find it hard to get ourselves out of it. We have set the wheel in motion, and we are being crushed under it. So this philosophy teaches us that we are uniformly being bound by our own actions, good or bad.
Okay, so what Swamiji said first, that the resultant karma that determines our future birth. Resultant karma means, suppose there are two forces, one body is there and one is trying to pull this way, another is trying to pull away, pull the other way. So what will happen? It will be the resultant. So resultant force will determine our future birth. That means we do something good, something bad, and something indifferent. So all these are collected, and whatever is the resultant, that force will determine our future birth. Now, another thing Swami Vivekananda said, that is karma and its effect, cause and its effect. This is infallible. So whatever we do, we are to suffer it out. But there is another way by which we can get out of it. As Bhagavan said, Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, that everything you offer to me, so then all the effects will not touch you. Shubha Shubha Phalerevam Yat Karoshi Yadashnasi Yat Juhoshi Dadasi Yat Tapasyasi Kaunteya Tat Kurusha Madarpanam. So there will be no resultant force. And that way you can get rid of Shubha and Ashubha Phala. That means good, bad, or forces. So this is what Swamiji said here, good or bad. So we are bound by that. But if we can offer all our actions to God, there comes a conflict. Good work we can offer. How can we offer bad work? We are not talking about bad work. Rather, one has to shun bad work, not to do. And suppose something has already been done and realization has come that it was bad, then you offer prayer and forgiveness, ask forgiveness and not to repeat it again. So Sri Krishna says in Gita that even Suduracharo api bhajate mam ananya bhav. Those who are ruffian, even if they are worshipping me without any other distraction, sadhureva samantabhya samyak vyavasito hisa. One has to determine him as a good person. So the person who has done something wrong, but he asks forgiveness, and then onward he does not repeat the same thing and worships God, means totally dedicated. Worship means not only flowers, etc., but totally dedicated. Sadhureva samantabhya. One has to determine him as good person. So this is, last time also Akshay asked a question. Why only, he asked a question. Is Akshay there?
I don't see him, Swami.
Okay. So he asked why only Girish Chandra Ghosh, why Sri Ramakrishna forgave and he adopted Girish Chandra Ghosh alone. Not only Girish Chandra Ghosh, all. The thing is, we are to worship God. And Name Deshwasti na priya. Bhagavan said, nobody is my dear, means extra, or I do not hate anyone. Those who worship me, they are dear to me. And those who do not worship, they're in their own way. So Nadeshyasti na priya. Yomam bhajati. So whosoever worships me, I am in him and he is in me. It is like this. Like a child is playing. So mother is watching from distance and says, okay, play. But when he has played enough, then he cries for mother. Then mother comes. So it is not that God has partiality. Rather, it is as we call on him or her, he also takes us in that same vein. Yes, go ahead.
The Atman never comes nor goes, is never born nor dies. It is nature moving before the Atman, and the reflection of this motion is on the Atman. And the Atman ignorantly thinks it is moving and not nature. When the Atman thinks that, it is in bondage, but when it comes to find it never moves, that is, it is omnipresent, then freedom comes. The Atman in bondage is called Jiva. Thus you see that when it is said that the Atman comes and goes, it is said only for facility of understanding, just as for convenience in studying astronomy, you are asked to suppose that the sun moves around the earth, though such is not the case. So the jiva, the soul, comes to higher or lower states. This is the well-known law of reincarnation, and this law binds all creation. People in this country think it too horrible that man should come up from an animal. Why? What will be the end of these millions of animals? Are they nothing? If we have a soul, so have they. And if they have none, neither have we. It is absurd to say that man alone has a soul and animals none. I have seen men worse than animals.
So all have souls. That means soul is not many. Soul is one. And that pervades everyone. Sun is one. Sun rays pervades everything. Space is one. The same space is everywhere. Maybe in a picture, we may say that, oh, it is space in the picture or in something else, the ghatakash or at least the grihakash here. It is the same space outside, same space here. It is our misunderstanding that we think this is a different one. Similarly, if you see a dog, you can see the same self. That is why Shuni Chaiva Swapakecha Panditaha Samadarshina. Pandit means he who has known the self. Panda Vishayakam Jnanam Yasyasti. For him, all are equal. Who are they? Vidya Vinaya Sampanni Brahmani. So Brahman is high caste. Then he has learning. Not only learning, he has humility. So with all qualities, so he is in one place, cow, elephant, swapaka. Swapaka means outcast. For a knower of self, all are similar. As mother said that Amjad is as good as my son as Sharat is. Sharat means Swami Shardananda. So she equated Sharat, who is the companion of Sri Ramakrishna, great soul, evolved soul, and a robber, highway person. So mother said, Amjad is as good as my son as Sharat is. Because for mother, all are equal. So that is what is being said. So Atman never segregates. Okay, it is like this. Sun rays fall on something filth or something pure. In our consciousness, everything is reflected. Good, bad, indifferent. Consciousness is not tainted. Similarly, that shloka is Samoham Sarvabhuteshu Namedeshwasti Napriya. All bhutas are similar to me. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maite teshu chapyam. He who worships me, that I am the same to all beings. To me, there is none hateful or dear. But those who worship me with devotion are in me, and I too am in them. So there is no discrimination. That is why if someone is criminal, but if he worships God without reservation, without any distraction, he is also a good person. Yes, go ahead.
The human soul has sojourned in lower and higher forms, migrating from one to another, according to the samskaras or impressions. but it is only in the highest form as man that it attains to freedom. The man form is higher than even the angel form, and of all forms it is the highest. Man is the highest being in creation because he attains to freedom.
Yeah, so because we have discrimination, here we have Vivekachudamani. Only man can discriminate. Animals cannot discriminate. And angels, they only reap their past actions, good actions. So they enjoy their pension. They enjoy their past actions, and it is like they are bound by a golden chain. Only human being can do, not do, or can do in a different way. Kartum, akartum, anyatha va kartum shakyam. So like some situation comes, I can do this, I can do the other way, and I can do in my own way. Or I cannot, I withdraw, I'll not do. So this, the power of discrimination is given to human being. Yes.
All this universe was in Brahman, and it was, as it were, projected out of him, and has been moving on to go back to the source from which it was projected. Like the electricity which comes out of the dynamo, completes the circuit and returns to it. The same is the case with the soul. Projected from Brahman, it passed through all sorts of vegetable and animal forms, and at last it is in man, and man is the nearest approach to Brahman. To go back to Brahman from which we have been projected is the great struggle of life. Whether people know it or not does not matter. In the universe, whatever we see of motion, of struggles in minerals or plants or animals, is an effort to come back to the center and be at rest. There was an equilibrium, and that has been destroyed, and all parts and atoms and molecules are struggling to find their lost equilibrium again. In this struggle, they are combining and reforming, giving rise to all the wonderful phenomena of nature. All struggles and competitions in animal life, plant life, and everywhere else, all social struggles and wars are but expressions of that eternal struggle to get back to that equilibrium.
So even today we see a lots of struggle is going on. People think struggle is bad, but actually not. That is the only way when we are trying to get our own equilibrium, to our own place where we belong. Therefore, struggle is not bad. Rather, that opens up. Rather, we are to struggle hard. Those who have awareness, they must struggle hard. Because without struggle, nothing is going to happen. So difficulties will come. Difficulties are good because that brings out our power that's already within us. Those who don't feel that struggle, there is no hope for them. Difficulties are the means by which the inner power is awakened. So that is very essential. Now we go to the text, but before I go, let me read a little Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, because that will clarify what we are studying. Sri Ramakrishna, the master, one day I had the vision of consciousness. Now, vision of consciousness means what? Realization. Like we are conscious, we see, we do, but we are hardly conscious of our consciousness. But he realized that way. And what kind of consciousness? Non-dual and indivisible. So it is not divided. It's one united whole. At first, it had been revealed to me that there were innumerable men, animals, and other creatures. So in consciousness, everything, he saw this. Among them, there were aristocrats and the English, the Muslims, myself, scavengers, dogs, and also a bearded Muslim with an earthenware tray of rice in his hand. He put a few grains of rice into everybody's mouth. I too tasted a little. So he is saying that this consciousness is indivisible and these forms are only apparent. It only seeming like various waves in the ocean. But it is the water and water alone of the ocean. Another day I saw rice, vegetables, and other food stuff and filth and dirt as well lying around. Suddenly the soul came out of my body and like a flame touched everything. It was like a protruding tongue of fire and tasted everything once, even the excreta. It was revealed to me that all these are one substance, the non-dual and indivisible consciousness. Another day, it was revealed to me that I had devotees, my intimate companions, my very own. Thereafter, I would climb to the roof of the Kuthibadi as soon as the bells of and the conch shells of the evening service sounded. So what he is stating here, that which is consciousness, the awareness, it is indivisible. And that on that everything is floating. Even the idea of body is floating in it. Ideas of so many creation and creatures are floating in my consciousness. So now we'll read from the text. Now it will be clear what Sri Ramakrishna experienced in himself. The same thing is here. We have already done though, but I'll repeat a little. Kartapi va karitapi naham. I am not the doer or agent to do. I neither do nor make others do any action. So I am neither agent or instigator of action. I neither enjoy nor make others enjoy. Then who enjoys? Actually, this is the notion. Ichha, Dvesh, Sukham, Dukkham, Sanghatas, Chetana, Dhriti. So these are the desire, aversion, happiness, misery. These are the field. Because of the self, it appears as existing, but in reality, they do not exist. So here Bhagavan says, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Kartapi va karitapi naham, bhuktapi va bhojayitapi naham, drashtapi va darshitapi naham, soham swam jyoti, anidrik atma, anidrik. Anidrik means we cannot say this is this and not this, because then we are objectifying. Rather, we are the subject, eternal subject. So this is what is being said. I neither do nor make others do any action. I neither enjoy nor make others enjoy. But in my presence, everything happens. I neither see nor make others see. I am that self-effulgent, transcendent Atman. In my presence, everything happens. Okay, we go to the next. Chalatyupadhi, when the supervening adjunct, that means upadhi, when it is moving, the resulting movement of the reflection is ascribed by the fools to the object reflected. So when we are traveling by train, everything moves behind. So these are those who do not understand, they think that everything is running behind, going behind. But actually, they are not moving. I am moving. So it is because of our the person's misunderstanding. Um, do not to the object reflected, such as the sun, which is free from activity. That means sun is shining, but we say, sun is rising and the now sun is setting, etc., etc. So these are appearing, but in reality, that the self is never moving. Neither it is doing or it is not making others do. But we see it is doing. So Gita says, Naiva kinchit karomiti yukta manyeta tattvit. The knower knows that I am not doing anything. Say I'm speaking. While speaking, I'm watching. While listening, you are watching your whatever you are listening. So if you can realize your witness self, then you are not doing. But that requires time and deep understanding. So that in course of time that happens. And I am asanga, asangoham, punah punah, Satchidananda Rupaham. I am Satchidananda. I am not attached with anything. So this one has to assert. Satchidananda Rupaham, aham eva abhyam. I am the unmanifested one. So this is the challenge. And the disciple has already experienced this. What about us? We are to try to find this witness. This will not happen all of a sudden. So we are to go gradually. It is like this. How we are unattached, we can see this. And we don't do anything. Suppose you have come from your home. How you have come? You have drove your car. So what you did? You entered in your car and you did like this and pushed, this pushing. But actually you entered into the car and you came out of your car. So what did you do? Okay. Suppose you are going to New York by plane. What do? You buy a ticket, you board in the plane, and you sit down. And sometimes tea is coming, snacks are coming. But you say, oh, I have traveled 3,000 miles. But you sat down there. How you travel? So this happens, it's our notion that we think we are going, coming, and doing all kinds of things. But if we try to understand, they will understand that prakritehe kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvash. It is the nature that does. How it does? It by the guna and karma. Okay, I'll give another example that will clear more. You are watching video and maybe a horse is galloping and you say, oh, see, the villain is running away. But what is happening? Actually, there, many pixels are there. It's on, off, on, off. And that is giving you an illusion that the villain is running away from the hero or protagonist. So, these are, say, like when you see your dream, what happens? Your eyes are closed and you are lying on bed, but you see the whole world and you are chased by someone. And nothing is happening. You are on your bed. So this is because of Prakriti, Guna and Karma. Prakritehe kriyamanani Guni Karmani Sarvasha. Ahamkara Vimuratma Karta Aham iti mani. Only egoistic fool thinks that he is doing. So anyway, it is because of our misunderstanding. We are to try to understand what is happening in reality, that nothing is happening. Okay, we go to the next. Jale vapi sthale vapi lutatesha jadatmakaha naham vilipye tad dharmir ghata dharmir nabho yatha. Let this inert body drop down in water or on land. I'm not touched by its properties, like the sky by the properties of the jar. So that is our real nature. Like Akasha, this is consciousness. In consciousness, we are feeling that I'm talking. You are feeling that you are listening. But actually, that is not happening. Difficult to understand. So, even this body will fall wherever it falls. It will not affect me, the person. Person means here my conscious being, my awareness. So, kartitram bhoktitva halattam mattata jadavat baddhatva vimukta tadayah buddho akilpa natu santi vastutah swasmin pare brahmani kevale advay. The passing states of the buddhi, the buddhi means intellect, such as agency, experience, cunning, drunkenness, dullness, bondage, and freedom are never in reality in the self. You see, these happens when you do something. See how clever I am. So you are watching that you are a clever person, or you are dull. You are watching that you are a dull person. So, and bondage and freedom are never in reality in the self. The Supreme Brahman, the Absolute, the one without a second. So all these, even body consciousness, suffering, all these are experienced. Therefore, you are not that. You are the experiencer. You are the witness. And even you are beyond that. Witness also, like experiencer also some involvement, but you are not involved in reality. Now we go to the next. Santu vikaraha prakriter dashadha shatadha sahasradha vapi kim me asanga chitas tair na ghanaha vachid ambaram sprishati. Another example is given. Let there be changes in the prakriti in 10, 100, or 1,000 ways. What have I, the unattached knowledge absolute, got to do with them? Never do the clouds touch the sky. So this is first we have to hear. And in one hearing will not do. We are to hear over and over and over again. Then we are to cogitate, contemplate, and then we are to live that idea. Then only it will be realized. So this is what happens, that we are not touched. Asangoham, 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 punah punah. So I am not attached. But as of now, we are very much attached. If we lose some money, even something which is dear to me, so we lose our peace of mind. So that is not to be practiced. As of now, we should not be callous. As of now, you have to take care of everything. As time will come when it will drop down, as Sri Ramakrishna gave example, like a palm tree, when the leaves they are mature, it drops down. So till that time, you have to be very careful. Bhagavan told to Arjuna, Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha. Like remember me and fight it on. So what does that mean? Fighting is not easy. Anytime you can be killed. So you have to save yourself. At the same time, you have to try to kill the opponent. Opponent here means like all infatuation, aversion, anger, all these. So one should fight not to get attached, not to be influenced by all these. So this way, when one is perfected, then there is no work. It is like this. You started from your home. So if you thought, okay, today there is Vivekachudamani, I have to go to the Vedanta Society. If you did not do anything, you would not have reached here. But after reaching, are you working still? Are you driving? No, there is no need of it. So first you have to reach there. Then only you'll find, oh, now I know that I have no work. I am not attached. Santu vikaraha prakrite dashadha. So let there be changes in the prakriti in 10, 100 or 1,000 ways. Whatever the unattached knowledge, absolute, got to do with them. So this Shishya, this disciple has experienced this. We should not behave without experience. First, we have to reach there. Then automatically it will fall down. No need of repeating it. Like then we'll feel like I'm unattached like space, sky. So we go to the next. Abhyaktadi sthula paryantam etat vishwam yatra bhasa matram pratitam vyoma prakhyam shukshmam adyantihinam brahmadvayam yatta devaham asmi. What I am? I am verily the Brahman. So what kind of Brahman? The one without a second. There is no differences here. Neha nanasti kinchana. Here there are not many. We see many. It's because of our samskara, previous impressions that we acquired from various births. But by knowing the truth, then gradually we have to nullify that. And what is that? I am verily that Brahman, that one without a second, which is like the sky, subtle, without beginning or end, in which the whole universe, from the undifferentiated down to the gross body, appears merely as a shadow. Actually, that happens. So this body is now as it is so dear to us, but it will look like it is shadow. Even in Sri Ramakrishna, we can see in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna spent 6 months in that state. And he had no body consciousness. So a monk came from somewhere and he used to push some food and sometimes beating him so that there is a little consciousness about his body. So this is experience. It is not talk. One has to experience this. And that will happen by cultivating this. By listening and then by contemplating, then cultivating. So we go to the next. Sarvadharam, Sarva Vastu Prakasham. The Sarvadharam means it is the basis, it is the holder of everything. See, This where we are sitting on floor. Where is that floor? On the earth. Where is that earth? In the space. Where is that space? In God. So He is the holder of everyone. Sarvadharam, Sarvavastu Prakasham. It shines everything. This consciousness shines everything. The experience of your waking state, experiences of your dreaming state, all states. Whatever you see, hear, touch, taste, smell, everything is perceived in and through your consciousness. So Sarvavastu Prakasham, Sarvakaram, and it takes all form. When you see a book, you are in that form. That means consciousness like touches everything like that. So like this. I am verily the Brahman, the one without a second, which is the support of all, which illumines all things, which has infinite form, is omnipresent, devoid of multiplicity, eternal, pure, unmoved, and absolute. So, this is our real self. We are not moving anywhere, and we are not temporary, we are permanent. This awareness, this consciousness, this bliss, absolute, it cannot move anywhere. Where to move? Because all the space is conceived by this. And then how can you divide it? The division is also adjunct. Space, you cannot divide space. So Nityam, Shuddham, Nishchalam. Nitya means eternal, Shuddham, pure, Nishchalam. This is what we are to contemplate, that I am pure, I am eternal, I am unmoved, I am nirvikalpa. That means there is no alternate of me. And I am that eternal one. Of course, this is generally it is for sannyasins, but this is the truth. Whether today, tomorrow, one has to reach here. Okay, we go to the next. Hope there is no question. Okay, we go to the next. Yat Pratyaha. So I'll read the shloka and then we'll so yat pratyaha ashesha maya vishesham pratyak rupam pratyagam gamyamanam satya jnanam ananta ananda rupam brahmadvaitam yat tavehamasmi. So again the same idea, and the reality is seen from various ways. Yat pratyaha. So whatever we experience, I am verily that Brahman, the one without a second, which transcends the endless differentiations of Maya. So whatever differentiation that we think, this is created by a tangible force. This force is also from God or from you. Why you? Ajnana. Ajnana means not knowing correctly. So here, this is also a a force. Because of that, we see many. So I am verily that Brahman, the one without a second, which transcends the endless differentiations of Maya, which is the inmost essence of all, is beyond the range of consciousness, and which is truth, knowledge, infinity, and bliss absolute. So yat pratyaya. So pratyaya means pratibodha viditam. Say, we are reading, we are experiencing something. How you are experiencing? By your awareness, by your consciousness. So on the consciousness, it is like reflected. So you recognize. Now I'm reading the another shloka. How? It's the same. This is also reflected on the same awareness, same consciousness. And every day this happens. Every page that this happens. That means I am aware. On that awareness, these are experienced. So yat pratyaya, pratyaha, yat pratyaya. Pratyastha ashesha maya vishesha. Pratyastha means it is expanded because of maya. So it is beyond all the expressions of maya. Pratyastha ashesha maya vishesham. Pratyak rupam. And this pratyak rupam means this is parak and pratyak. It is the innermost. It is the existence. Pratyagamya manam. And because of this, because of the presence of this, everything is experienced. What type of pratyaya is this? Satya. Truth. Satya. Jnana. Anantam. So jnana, this is the only truth, and it is knowledge itself. And it is ananta. Ananta means unending. Ananda rupaham. And it is full of bliss. Brahmadvaitam yat tadevaham asmi. Whatever is Advaitam, that's non-dual. There is no two. I am that. Then comes Nishkriyo Asmi. I am Nishkriya. See, whatever we do, it is all the through our senses, through our will. Say, when we go somewhere, it is our will. And then through our senses, we as if go there. But our awareness is Nishkriya. There is no need of work. In its presence, everything happens. Like light, light is shining. In that light, we are reading. Light is not involved. So it is Nishkriya, without action. I am without activity, changeless, without parts, formless, absolute, eternal, without any other support, the one without a second. So there is no other support. Only this supports itself. Sri Mahimne Pratishtita. It is established in its own glory. It does not require any other support. So Nishkriya, Nishkriyaha, Asmi Avikaro Asmi. I am Avikar. There is no deterioration or addition. Nishkalo. There is no division. Asmi, Nirakriti. There is no akara. There is no shape. Everything shape is perceived in its presence. Nirvikalposmi. I am Nirvikalpa. There is no options. Nityosmi. I am eternal. Niralambosmi. I am without any other support. I am support of all, but I don't need any other support. And Nirdvayaha. There is no two. We go to the next. Sarvatmakoham, Sarvoham, Sarvatitoham, Advaya. Now I am in everybody. So in your dream, you are in all the characters, in all being of your dream. Similarly, here also, you alone exist, I alone exist. In that existence, everything is shining. So Sarvatmakos Aham, Sarvoham, I am in all, and I am all. In your dream, you are in the dream, you are the dream. Sarvatito Aham Advaya, and I am beyond all, and I alone exist. Kevala Akhanda Bodha, and only that sense of unity. Aham Anandoham Nirantara. I am the bliss, I am without any break. I am the universal, I am the all, I am transcendent, the one without a second. I am absolute and infinite knowledge. I am bliss and indivisible. So similar idea, yeah, we can take another one because here similar ideas are there. Swarajya, Samrajya, Vibhuti Resha, Bhavat Kripas, Mahimas Prasadat, Prapta Maya, Sri Guruvi Mahatmani, Namo Namastu, Punar Namastu. So he says, it is because of the grace of Guru that I achieved this. I offer my pranams. This splendor of the sovereignty. Sovereignty means not subjugated by anything else. Free and not tainted by anything. So this splendor of the sovereignty of self-effulgence I have received by virtue of the supreme majesty of the grace. Salutations to thee, O glorious, noble-minded teacher. Salutations again and again. In our tradition, we consider God is our only Guru. Sri Ramakrishna is our Guru. So it is because of his grace that we experience this. Here, this disciple is saying that Sri Shankaracharya is Guru. Because of his grace, he has attained this freedom, Swarajya, sovereignty, Samrajya. This like a kingdom, great kingdom. So it is because of his grace that he has achieved. And always, like it is said that Bhavadvaitam Sada Kurya. You are to practice Advaita in Bhava. Karyadvaitam na karyachit. Say, suppose you are driving. If you think that oncoming truck is also Brahman, I am also Brahman. So what is there? If I go to the other lane, then it is a difficult situation. So you have to first contemplate this. A time will come, then you will not find any separation. But as of now, you are not to mix up things. Like, Arjuna was fighting his own family men. So Sri Krishna said, remember me and fight it on. But if he says, oh, I am the enemy also, I am this Arjuna also. What is the need of fight? No, that is unripe state. First you have to fight. First you have to drive here, to reach here. After reaching, the work will cease to exist. So bhavadvaitam sada kuryat karyadvaitam na karhachit. Nadvaitam guru nacha saha. Never you should practice with Guru. Whatever I am, Guru is also the same. That is not the way. Because then there will be no progress. So here we find the Shishya admits it is the grace of Guru. Again, in our tradition, Sri Ramakrishna is our Guru, not any individual. individual is like his limb. He extends his grace through that conduit. So I think time. So we stop here. Any question? No question. Everybody has understood this. So you are asking, no, you are asking, you are also witnessing, you're asking. Are you not? So you are witnessing, you're asking. It is happening. Say like after 5 minutes, when we close this, then it will happen as if it has not happened. See, yesterday, what did you eat? If I ask, you have forgotten already. I mean, say, last year, what did you eat? It is gone. So it appears, when it appears, it looks like, oh, it is real. But the reality is the self. All other things appear in front of the self. Correct, correct. So like light, it is shining within. In front of that, whatever comes, it shines. So this is neither the doer, na karta, na karita. Neither it engages somebody else to do something. Na kartavyam, na karmani, lokasya srijati prabhu. I have no work. Na kartavyam, na karmani. I have no work, I have no sense of duty. Then who does it? It is the system. It is the system, like a TV system. Or this is the system, it is happening. See, your head of the government is president. Is he ruling everywhere? In his name, everything happens. He is not directly involved, but in his name, everything happens. So, na kartavyam, na karmani, lokasya srijati prabhu. Na karma phal sangyogam. I don't give even the fruits of action. Then how does it happen? Swabhavena pravat. This happens by the natural way. And in another place, it is Ajnanena abritam jnanam tena mujhanti jantava. The knowledge is covered by ignorance. See, like this action as if it is happening. This sense of happening is because of ignorance. Ajnanena abritam jnanam. And we are deluded. Say, when you see a dream, watch a dream, as if it is happening. Why? Because you are deluded that time, you see the dream. See, this is difficult to contemplate, but we have to try to understand this way, and one day it will be solved. I think somebody. See, like this system. No. You see, system means, I gave the example of government. Everything happens in this United States of America. This, in the United States of America, whatever happens, who does it? The president. But president is sleeping somewhere. So in his name, everything happens. Who does it? Say a criminal is running away. A cop comes. He has no authority. He must have an authority from police department. So this is the system. It's difficult. So ajnanena avritam jnanam tena mujhanti jantavam. So this is another way to see. Like this is our delusion that we think it is happening. Because of our misunderstanding, not total absence of knowledge. Something is happening. What is happening? I am conscious being. In my presence, as if it is happening. I am sleeping, but I am as if I am dreaming that I am running away. Or somebody is chasing, so I am running faster. So this is because of ignorance that has covered knowledge. Ajnanena avritam jnanam. Tena mujhanti jantava. So they are confused. They are deluded. Because of delusion, this happens. This is very, we need not worry about it. We are to think of God. It's God's will. And we are totally surrendered. We have totally surrendered to God. The same thing. So there it is, God is doing everything. We are not doing anything. So the same thing. So it is better way to understand. Okay, God is doing everything. Everyone say, yes. This is very easy. Okay, we say our prayer. Somebody was saying something?
No, Maharaj.
Yes, please.
No, Terrence had a question and he changed his mind.
Say it again.
Terrence had a question and he changed his mind.
Okay, no problem. Now it is better, like we are devotees. So we are totally submissive to mother. And like a kitten. What kitten does? Mew, 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 mew. And mother sometimes it will take by the same mouth by which it will catch mouse. Same mouth, but without hurting the kitten. And sometimes it will put on the bed of the aristocrat, sometimes on the heap of ash. It is better. Though the result is both the same. So we have to say mew, mew, mew. This is science. What happens in science? And that we are to understand. And similarly, we can see in devotion also, it is the same thing. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ram Krishnarpanamastu. So this is better. Ram Krishnarpanamastu. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma Swami.
Eh?
What does Sri Ramakrishna Paramastu mean?
Say it again.
What does Sri Ramakrishna Paramastu? What is the translation? What does that really mean?
Sri Ramakrishna Arpanam Astu. I offer everything to Sri Ramakrishna. Right? Sri Ramakrishna Arpanam. Arpanam means Arpanam Astu. Be.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Namaste, Swami.
Thank you, Swami.
Yes. He feels unattached.
Mew, mew, mew.
Yeah, that's good.